during the German occupation,
Yeah.
they'd put a fucking swath on the top of the Eiffel Tower, like a big flag.
Really?
And every day, Frenchmen would climb the tower and they'd get shot down or fall off until one of them got that fucking swastika off the tower. Yeah. Yeah, they resisted pretty hard.
Wow.
But think about how majestic that swath must have looked flapping up there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that thing that they did with Shia LaBeouf when he had that website.
Oh, yeah, and 4chan got to the
He
bottom
will
of
not
it.
replace, or he will not divide us.
Yeah. And then they use like
4chan
flight
found-
patterns and
yes.
shit. Yeah.
It was the most brilliant thing that anyone's ever done.
It's weaponized autism. Yeah.
It was amazing. And then, do you know that Radiolab took the podcast down where they were describing it?
No.
They had a whole podcast.
I heard that podcast. Why'd they take it down?
Because they were saying that 4chan is associated with racism and homophobia and all sorts of other things. And it's just like to elevate that website and to talk about that. And so they decided to delete it. But I had already listened to it by the time they deleted it. Is it back up?
No, you can find it. I've just found it. But
okay, so here's what the Radiolab has decided to take down this episode. Some listeners called us out. Called us out is that's so fucking woke speak. They called us out, saying that in telling the capture the flag story in the way that we did, we essentially condoned some pretty despicable ideology and behavior. No, you're not. You're just talking about a thing that happened.
Yeah, you're just giving information.
Yeah. To all the listeners who felt that way and to everyone else, please know that we hear you and that we take these criticisms to heart. I feel awful that the things we said could be interpreted that way. That's on us. It was certainly not our intention, and we apologize.
Dude, that's fucking lame. That's pussy shit right there.
It doesn't make sense because
Dude.
if you listen to what it was like they just thought that Shia LaBeouf, how do you say it? LaBeouf?
LaBeouf, I think.
They just thought he was being ridiculous.
Yeah.
They thought he was being self-aggrandizing and just a silly actor fuck.
Very pretentious.
Very pretentious.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's find that fucking
Let's get his
flag.
ass. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no one connected to that. That's like when you're reading that or seeing that and you're listening to that, you just have like internet wizards figured out a way to get to a spot where something annoying was on the internet.
Yeah, where a dork was flexing.
And they won. Some
That's
dork
the wasp.
flexed and
That's
they
the
won.
wasp getting into the honeybees, dude.
Yes.
They ate his larva.
They ate his larva.
Yeah.
And then the guy goes up to the camera and goes, fuck Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Is that still available? Can we hear that? See if you can find that. Because that shit's amazing.
Yeah. Dude.
I remember listening to that Radiolab and go, that's so clever that those guys figured that out. And how did that get connected to ideology? How that just because some of it exists on an internet free website like 4chan where basically anything goes.
It's just unmoderated free speech.
Yes,
that's what happens sometimes.
That doesn't mean that the people who did that are in lockstep with any ideology.
No, they're not Nazis because they figured out where Shia LaBeouf's art installation was.
No one knows, like, I mean, I haven't heard an argument, I mean, maybe there have been ones, about the people that actually did it. I mean, it's all just like that website is bad, so don't say that. Don't talk about this awesome thing that happened.
That's so condescending. It's so paternalistic to be like, we can't give you this information because it might make you frown. It's
well,
like,
that's
fucking A, dude.
Kids are being used to being treated that way. That's why they're demanding it. Like, you should be able to listen to an actual Nazi talk.
Yes.
Because it's educational.
Yeah.
Because you get to see this, like, slippery logic they use and apply it to human beings and how disgusting it is. And how it's always been like that throughout history. People have othered people for whatever reason. And usually it's because it makes it easier to subjugate them, easier to dominate them.
Dude, Hitler was no good, but he could move a crowd.
God damn, could he fucking
That guy killed. That wily Austrian.
We watched a speech of his versus, who was it that we opposed it? Put it opposite of?
Bernie Mac. I'm not scared of you motherfuckers set versus Hitler.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was like one of the best opening lines ever.
Have you seen Corey Holcomb at Shaq's benefit, dude?
No, I haven't.
What is that? A clip.
What do you got,
I
James?
was hoping this was the fuck Shia LaBeouf part, but it's not.
Is this where they figured
This
it
is
out?
the, like,
So this is the
edited
actual
video.
flag.
Yeah.
So this is the unedited video. The fact that they figured this out is just amazing.
4chan rules.
That's just amazing. Location found.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Fuck Shia
It
LaBeouf.
shows all of the posts that they made.
Yeah.
Going through it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they may put some music behind this. I can't.
So those the guys that did it?
I honestly don't know.
4chan is using flight plans.
Yeah.
Look at that. Go back to that. 4chan is using flight plans to locate the "He Will Not Divide Us" flag. Godspeed, lads.
This is
Let
what
the
happens.
games begin. This
when
is amazing.
When you don't get any pussy for long enough.
Yeah, man, you're fucking with nerds.
Yeah,
you
it's
know
a bad
these
move.
guys are dangerous.
Yeah, dude.
And they're having a good time, and they won.
They got his ass.
They won, so it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Do you know what that must have felt like when they got that flag? It must have been like when Israel Adesanya knocked out Alex Pereira.
Right on the button.
You know, it's like this thing that you like. How did we do it?
That's when they got the flag. They put the
Oh,
4chan
fuck.
timer on.
4:36 a.m. That's dedication. They're disciplined.
Yeah.
They're up at 4:36 a.m.
Yeah.
capturing flags.
That's also organic anarchy. That's people working together with
Yeah.
like-minded ideals, you know?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I'm a fan
dude.
of that kind of work.
Yes.
How did they take that episode down? The episode was really well done too. It's unfortunate because it doesn't condone anything. That's
No.
not true. And this whole, they called us out. Like, no, they didn't. They complained about something. Your work should stand for itself, and I thought it did. It's silly.
Also, you can't live in this bubble where you don't know about
Yeah.
ulterior modes of thought, you know? Like, if you just found out about 4chan from that Radiolab episode, that's on you for not being engaged in the cultural conversation. That's
You know,
bullshit.
That's one of the fears that people have about Twitter.
Oh,
When
yeah.
Elon took over,
Yeah.
the fears they have about Twitter is it basically becomes 4chan on wheels. It's like
4chan with advertising.
it's 4chan owned by the biggest billionaire troll that's ever existed. I mean, Elon trolls people.
Yeah. The
He
only
trolled
difference is
Bill
there's
Gates.
girls on Twitter. There's none on 4chan.
Yeah, there's probably no girls on 4chan.
Yeah.
Well, there are those incels that decide to go trans. You know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
There's like a
Oh,
word for
femboys.
that now.
Yeah, yeah.
No, there's like a word for incels that specifically decide to go trans.
Yeah, they got like Hypnode or whatever.
What are they called? Jamie, do you know? How you doing over there with that honey?
I'm loving it, dude.
You
I'm
all right?
coming alive. Yeah.
It seems to be affecting you.
I'm having a
It
nice
seems to
time.
be different than it's affecting me. I'm wondering why.
I don't know, dude. Maybe because I'm a big fat guy and you're cut from marble? Maybe
No,
we
it's-
have different metabolisms?
No, I'm wondering like what is it about the honey that like because the other guy that took he took more than me. Transmaxing.
I'm giggling.
This is a subculture of young men who embrace trans identities,
Yeah.
not because they believe they're born the wrong body, but because they can't get no